She was the epitome of feline grace. Luna, as she was affectionately named, moved with a fluidity that seemed almost otherworldly. Every step she took was a dance, every glance a story waiting to be told. Her emerald eyes sparkled with mischief and intelligence. They were windows to a soul that was both playful and wise, a combination that made her irresistibly charming. Her sleek ebony fur shimmered like polished onyx. It was a coat that spoke of meticulous grooming and care, a testament to the pampered life she led. This was Luna, a cat who wanted for nothing. Her days were filled with leisure and luxury, a stark contrast to the lives of many of her feline counterparts. She had it all luxurious silk cushions, each one more comfortable than the last. These were not just any cushions, but ones that had been carefully selected to match her refined tastes. An endless supply of fresh salmon, prepared to perfection. It was a gourmet feast that would make even the most discerning human palate envious. And the adoration of her human companions. They doted on her, showering her with affection and attention, ensuring that she never felt alone or unloved. Life was a dream, a perfect symphony of comfort and indulgence. Every corner of her home was a sanctuary, designed to cater to her every whim and fancy. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. The skies, once clear and bright, began to darken, hinting at the turmoil that lay ahead. A storm was brewing, a darkness that threatened to consume Luna's perfect world. It was a storm that would test her resilience and strength, challenging the very foundation of her existence. The seeds of betrayal had been sown, lurking in the shadows of her opulent life. These shadows, once harmless, now seemed to whisper of danger and deceit. Luna stretched languidly, her claws extending into the plush fabric. It was a gesture of contentment, a moment of peace before the storm. She had no idea that the life she knew, the life she had grown accustomed to, was about to change forever. The winds of change were blowing, and Luna, in her blissful ignorance, was unprepared for the challenges that lay ahead. Her world, once a haven of luxury and comfort, was on the brink of transformation, and Luna would soon find herself navigating a new reality, one that would test her in ways she had never imagined. Luna's wealth was no secret. Her opulent lifestyle was the talk of the town, whispered about in hushed tones by those who could only dream of such luxury. She had inherited a fortune from her previous owner, a wealthy eccentric who doted on her every whim. This owner had left Luna not just a house, but a palace fit for feline royalty. Her grand mansion, nestled amidst sprawling gardens, was the envy of every cat in the neighborhood. The estate was a paradise, with fountains, statues, and endless nooks for exploration. They would peer through the gates, their eyes gleaming with a mixture of admiration and resentment. The neighborhood cats could only imagine what it was like to live in such splendor. Luna, oblivious to their envy, continued to live her life of extravagance. She was unaware of the whispers and the longing glances cast her way. Her days were filled with leisurely naps in sun-drenched rooms, where the light filtered through the grand windows, casting a warm glow on her fur. Gourmet meals prepared by a personal chef were a daily delight. Each dish was a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to please her refined palate. And playful chases after jewel-encrusted toys kept her entertained. These toys were not just playthings, but treasures that sparkled and shone, adding to the grandeur of her life. She was the queen of her castle, and she ruled with a gentle paw. Her presence commanded respect, and her every move was a testament to her regal status. But even queens, it seemed, were not immune to the venomous sting of betrayal. In the shadows, envy festered, and Luna's perfect world was about to be shattered by those who coveted her throne. One day, Luna discovered she was pregnant. A wave of joy washed over her, quickly followed by a surge of anxiety. She was going to be a mother. Her life, once carefree and indulgent, now carried the weight of responsibility. She needed help. She needed to rely on others. With her usual generosity, Luna reached out to the other cats. She shared her wealth, her home, her food. She believed in their friendship, their loyalty. She had no reason to doubt them, or so she thought. As Luna's pregnancy progressed, so did the resentment of those around her. Their envy festered, growing into a monstrous beast that threatened to consume them all. They whispered behind her back, plotting against her. They coveted her wealth, her home, her very existence. Then, one night, it happened. The betrayal was swift and brutal. They attacked her while she slept, their claws bared, their eyes burning with hatred. Luna, caught off guard, was helpless. She fought back, but she was outnumbered, outmatched. Wounded and terrified, she fled into the night, the sounds of their hisses echoing in her ears. Section 5. Alone and afraid. The world outside her mansion was a cold and unforgiving place. The once familiar streets now seemed like a labyrinth of shadows and echoes, each corner hiding potential threats. Gone were the silken cushions, the gourmet meals, and the warmth of a crackling fireplace that once made her feel safe and cherished. The comforting presence of her human companions, who had always been there to stroke her fur and whisper soothing words, was now just a distant memory. Luna was alone, lost in a maze of unfamiliar streets, her body aching, her heart broken. Each step she took was heavy with the weight of uncertainty and fear. The rain lashed down, mirroring the tears that streamed down her face. It was as if the heavens themselves were weeping for her plight, adding to the coldness that seeped into her bones. She was lost, betrayed, and terrified. Every sound, every shadow seemed to be a threat, and she had no one to turn to for comfort or protection. The weight of her unborn kittens pressed down on her, a constant reminder of her vulnerability. She had to find a safe place, not just for herself, but for the lives growing inside her. Her eyes, once bright with curiosity and joy, now reflected exhaustion and desperation. She was tired, but she couldn't afford to give up. But even in the depths of her despair, a flicker of determination ignited within her. She would survive. She had to find the strength within herself to keep going. A flicker of determination ignited within her. She would survive. She had to for her kittens. They were her hope, her reason to keep fighting against the odds. She had to for her kittens. They were her future, and she would do everything in her power to protect them, to give them a chance at a better life. Section 6. A Glimmer of Hope. As the sun began to rise, casting a pale light on the wet streets, Luna stumbled upon a small, run-down bakery. The smell of freshly baked bread wafted towards her, a tantalizing aroma that stirred a primal hunger within her. She approached cautiously, her body trembling with exhaustion. To her surprise, the baker, a kind-hearted old woman with eyes as warm as her oven, took pity on her. She ushered Luna inside, offering her food, water, and a warm place to rest. For the first time since her betrayal, Luna felt a glimmer of hope. Section 7. Strength in Adversity. The baker, whose name was Agatha, became Luna's unlikely savior. She nursed Luna back to health, providing her with food and shelter. She spoke to her with kindness, her voice a soothing balm on Luna's wounded spirit. With Agatha's help, Luna began to heal, both physically and emotionally. The betrayal still stung, a constant reminder of the cruelty of others. But Luna refused to let it break her. She drew strength from the thought of her unborn kittens, her maternal instincts kicking in. She would be strong. She would survive. She would protect her young. Section 8. A New Beginning. Weeks turned into months. With Agatha's unwavering support, Luna gave birth to a litter of healthy kittens. They were her pride and joy, her reason for living. She poured all her love and devotion into them, determined to give them the life she had been denied. The bakery, once a temporary refuge, became their new home. Agatha, with her kind heart and gentle touch, became their surrogate grandmother. Life was no longer about luxury or indulgence. It was about love, family, and the simple joys of life. Section 9. A Mother's Love. Luna never forgot the betrayal she had suffered. The scars, both physical and emotional, remained, but she also learned a valuable lesson. True wealth, she realized, lay not in material possessions, but in the love of those who cared for her. She watched her kittens tumble and play, their innocent eyes filled with wonder, and she knew that she had found something far more precious than anything she had lost. She had found a home, a family, and a love that would last a lifetime. And that, she knew, was worth more than all the riches in the world.